Here we go. All right, y'all. So this is Nate. He is a fellow comrade from the African People's Socialist Party, an APDEP member, and definitely is in with the Black is Back. So Nate and I always have great conversations when he comes by, and he's not used to being on camera with regular.
Not at all. Not at all. But.
So I'm just gonna, get some thoughts. So the election of Barack Obama. I mean, the elections in Barack Obama, Mitt Romney. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on that. I don't have many thoughts other than, people are gonna get out and vote and waste their time. Okay. Essentially.
Now, I posted a previous video and I got some comments underneath that. People just said, "What do you mean you're not gonna vote?" I mean, what's the reaction when people say you're not gonna vote? Oh my God! What do you mean?
Well,
what's your response?
My response to that is, why exercise in something that's really, I mean, you have nothing but bad choices. So why give any kind of legitimacy to something that's really like false? You know what I'm saying? In terms of both parties, these are two candidates that, in terms of if you black, ain't nothing good for you to come out of it for voting either one of them. So what's the point of that? Why would you even participate?
Because people die for you to vote, and that you're taking the I'm playing devil's advocate, obviously. Yeah. So you're playing a passive role, and you're punking out because you don't exercise your right to vote.
No, I mean that's a strategy to not give power to a system that is oppressing you. That's a strategy to not vote, to not participate in that. So people think that not voting, oh, you're giving up your right or you can't say. That's the most ridiculous idea in the world because people vote all the time. Yeah. Ain't like you could tell Obama, look, I voted for you, brother. Like, what I'm saying? What's up with some money for me? Or what's up with some ain't nothing gonna happen like that. That's unrealistic.
I think one of the things that people I think the people who focus so much on voting are people who don't do anything else.
That's very true.
In between the elections of the presidential elections or local elections. And that is their only way of showing that they are doing something is through the process of voting. But I feel like I feel empowered all the time because we do stuff in the community and we try to raise these issues and we try to change the thing. And so I feel like vote for me. Vote for Nate.
Right.
Because that's
we gonna make something happen.
Yeah, that's what work is. You know what I mean? Like it's simple as that. Like voting for Barack Obama, who hasn't even shown any interest in our interest. I mean, or any other, or even the two presidencies itself. I mean, the two presidential candidates plus. I know there are like 5 more, but whatever. Have you seen the platform that they're putting across? So I want people to understand that I'm not against voting. I think you should vote. I think that not in this country. I think you should vote for a candidate that represents your issues. I'm for voting in Venezuela when it's voting for Hugo Chavez. I'm for voting in Cuba when you're voting for Fidel Castro. I'm for voting for people who represent the interests of the people on a revolutionary trajectory. And when you're voting between two sides of the imperialist coin,
people can vote. They can do whatever. I'm not telling nobody not to vote. You do what you're gonna do. But like you said, there's a lot more work to do outside of voting. And all these people who want to talk to you about voting and that you should vote, I want to see what they're gonna be doing March 2013. Are they gonna be talking about anything? Are they gonna be doing anything in the streets? If them same people that's telling me you need to be voting ain't doing nothing in March 2013, don't talk to me ever again about nothing political ever
at all,
because these people won't. Like you said, that's all their power is in this electoral process to two very bad choices.
I've never had so many political discussions with people as I have now. And they know that I've been doing political work for the past 3 years, but I've never had a discussion with, and these are friends and family members until now, when it comes to them understanding that I do not plan on voting for Barack Obama. That's it. Had it been 2 white candidates, nobody would give a shit.
Right.
Nobody would care if I was voting or not. Blah blah blah. Whatever. So that's how we feel about voting, and I don't care. And I know that you all are gonna drop me as a
they're gonna drop your page. They're gonna unsubscribe.
They're gonna unsubscribe. They're gonna send me messed up notes and drop bomb comments or whatever. But
I like the sister hair videos, but she talked about.
I know, but that was my problem. That's why I closed that channel down anyway. I just felt like people were just too engaged with the hair piece, and I wanted to really explore more. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, Nate.
Yeah.
What did we do this weekend?
Oh, it was an incredible weekend, a very powerful weekend. Mm-hmm. The Black is Back Coalition, mobilization rally and conference in DC at Malcolm X Park on November 3rd. Yeah. And then we had the conference on at Soul 57 in DC. Mm-hmm. Very powerful event, powerful speakers, Chairman Omali Yeshitela, Glenn Ford, Solomon Commission, Penny Hess from African People's Solidarity Committee, just people, Imam Musa, a lot of people from
Chokwe Lumumba
came. I mean, just incredible. Now that was powerful. I can't. November, what is it, the Tuesday, I don't even want to think about the Tuesday, because this was like, you know what I'm saying, for me, this was the election or powerful political mobilization that I'm wanting to see people talk about what's happening in my community and around the African world.
What's funny is that when we march past, and I know how a lot of people feel about marching. Marching, what y'all marching for? You trying to march and tell these white people what you want to do? No. It's funny because I used to have that same stance until I did it, and I saw the people's faces is what gets you, because you can win people by letting them know where you stand, especially when we're talking about the election and we're talking about the empowerment of African people and trying to pull people into organized work. It's not just about chanting in the street, it's about pulling people into organized work, and that was this whole weekend was about. It wasn't just about conferencing or rallying and marching. It's showing people that we can spark a revolution. We can overturn this thing. We need everybody to join the forces. But it was so funny because when we marched past Howard University, the looks on these looks on the faces of the Africans, it was
why are you doing this? We have a black president. What?
But I need to
Tuesday.
Yes,
Tuesday.
Why are you doing it right now? It was like the most funniest thing. It was. I'm always like, it was funny. I think this year more than any year, I feel like people are less subject to agree with you. I feel like you have more consensus in previous years than you do now, and I think part of it is just the whole brainwash onslaught of Obamization and electionation.
You just made up some words.
I do, and I do it all the time. But like people like this whole screen of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I really thought this weekend was really good. We planned it. It was a lot of work. And I really enjoyed the whole thing. I really want to say a thank you to all the performers who performed for free.
Oh yeah, that was
the performances were awesome. I really Jason, from Southeast Trinity, and his sister.
And the
sister who sang Violet. She's Violet King. She's my God, her voice is awesome.
Beautiful.
The brother Truth to God. That's he's representing Barry Farms. Princess Bella out of St. Pete and Africa's Trigger, aka Diop Olubala, president of the International People's Democratic Movement. Yes. So I felt like I was really like, especially for Truth to God. I thought he was like, I was like, what? We need to have more revolutionary music and music that makes you think. And we were just talking about this just now about how music. And I talked about this before on my channel. I'm just checking my time. I talked about this before on my channel where I felt like the music from when we grew up. How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. I'm 34. When the imagery, I don't think I knew any lyrics in the 90s, but I saw the imagery. I knew self-destruction. That was my junk, right there. Because all our rappers were in there. KRS-One, right. Big Daddy Kane. Who else? There was so many people.
Oh my God, you got me mind blanking. Right
oh my God, yeah. But all of these people, we were saying, they may not have even united with the fact that they were African, but everybody wore an African medallion. Everybody wore kufi. You had some African clothing in your wardrobe, and the imagery of that growing up was so powerful. It really just like created.
I mean, there was a space in hip hop to be, to be black and African and to have a pride. You couldn't even have it. I don't even think one album didn't have a song that's, I don't care how mainstream or pop, the hip hop artist was.
Even West Coast rappers, right?
You know
like not even, because I know West Coast rappers are so-called conscious too.
Right.
But like, what's his name? Ice Cube.
Oh hell, well yeah, when he was running with P.E., Ice Cube was at it in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Burn Hollywood, burn, all that, you know. But he was. But even like everybody in hip hop had to speak to something about what was going on in the community. You know what I'm saying?
And not just talking about the kilos that they supposedly
police brutality. They was talking about all that. You know what I'm saying?
The system being fucked up, and it was really great to grow up in that time. And
nowadays,
bands make them dance. Bands. What's another one?
Click. What's that? Is that? I don't even know. That ain't that like Kanye on or something? Like I don't even know. Because I don't even listen. But you gotta search.
You have a 13-year-old.
Who told me Kendrick Lamar new CD was historic. A lot of people may agree with that. But my son telling me something historic, I'm already in my mind. I'm like, oh.
Historic, right? What's your historic musician?
Historic in terms of hip hop?
Yeah.
Historic, of course. I mean, everybody's gonna be like, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, who else? Yeah, of course, Tribe. De La. In the '90s, you got Outkast and Biggie and all these other people. But my son talking about Kendrick Lamar. I'm not saying he's a bad rapper, but in terms of what I grew up with, this dude is below average. But you listen to the radio, he's head and shoulders above everything else on the radio, which is tragic. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Well, I determined a long time ago I was going to turn off the radio.
Yeah, turn off that bullshit like their friends.
Pick your music, and you get it all on your little iPod or whatever, and you play that, because that's why I'm glad that cars nowadays have that little input thing. Yeah. Because if I had that in my little Honda. Oh, my radio would never come on. It would always be, inputting music. Yeah. But I know we went off on a tangent and we started talking, but like I really wanted to get Nate on camera because when he comes over my house, he always has great conversation. We always have these wonderful conversations.
Well, I appreciate being on camera impromptu. Like, you want to be on camera?
You want to be on camera?
We gonna do it. All right.
Yes, and I think I'm gonna do this with other folks when they come to my house. Your payment for staying at my house when you come to town is you gotta come on camera.
You gotta do it.
You gotta do a YouTube.
Okay.
You gotta do a YouTube.
I can do that.
Thank you so much, Brother Nate.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
All right, audience. All right.
Yeah, that was great.
All right, uhuru.
Uhuru.